Hello and welcome to the extra parts of this tutorial on Dotspot, and I'm going to take the rough sketch from the previous tutorial and work it up into a final piece of artwork. And as I go, I'm not going to copy this exactly, but I'm going to use this as a guide. So I will start with the head, which gives me a good idea where to place things in space, and give him a nice chin. And then draw in the ears, and I'm using just these as a guide, and then I will put my details in my way. Okay, I'm going to leave the face because I want to draw the face in when I don't see the ruff at the end. So I'm just going to use the ruff as a guideline to get in the main areas like the hat, the brim of the hat and the body. Okay, so we're going to bring his little body down here in the waistcoat. So you can draw your waistcoat in. And his arm coming out from underneath his chin down to the wrist. And we have it on his hip. So if you just notice the wiggle there, that's for the knuckles. And the line comes down here, and then I'm going to draw the fingers like that. So you can see that the hand looks like it's going backwards. And then the tail of his coat. I'm going to bring his legs down here, straight down, and draw the little ankle boots and the heel, and then bring it into the foot like this and up and around. I'll just put a little ball on the end there to represent a bell. Bring his crotch across and go down to the other boot. And draw the same ankle decoration and into the other boot. And try and get the feet so they look like they're on the same level of the floor. Then the arm, I'm actually going to move the arm into a more exaggerated position. So he really looks to exaggerate this pose up and get this whole line here coming from the arm up and arm down, and draw in the thumb. Now I have another tutorial, or I'm working on another tutorial about how to do a hand holding something. That will be up very soon. If you're not sure, 2, 3, I'm going to give him 3 fingers, and in there between his fingers I'm going to draw the mallet. And we give it an oval shape at the end there, like this. Okay. Right, I'm ready to switch off the ruff now, and I'm going to work on the rest of the elf without the ruff behind it, because it's quite distracting having that. So I'm going to now draw in the hood, and I'm going to make it a bit longer and have it dangling down. So if you want to give a hat a bit of volume, you can add these little crinkles to it like this. And then the bell on the end, as I showed you before with the little balls and the lines, give an impression of the bell, which is rather nice. We can add his little belt. There we are. Easy peasy. And you can always go back and clean up these things. If you're drawing in pencil, obviously you can rub out. You don't have to draw in Photoshop. I draw in Photoshop. I always say the tools are not important. It is the artist. Now I'm going to draw him looking up at this mallet. So if you want to use your guides, so the nose and the eyes and the mouth, of course, you can. That's what they're there for. I'm just going to draw a little tiny nose like this and have him looking up at his mallet like this. Drawing his big eyes. Oh, you have to be sure that you get the eye line right. You have to get him really looking in the right direction. So be really careful how you do that. If you want to leave a highlight rather than rub it out, then just draw a small circle in the eye and then colour around it. Small circle like this, and then colour around it. And give a little highlight in the eye, and let's have him smiling rather sweetly. Now what I said to you before is that you can nibble off the edge of the the bottom edge of the eye, and that will appear that his cheek is being pushed up with a cheeky little smile. And then I'm going to draw in his teeth and his mouth as he's smiling, and he's looking quite pleased with himself. And you can add some eyebrows. You can also then go to embellish it. We didn't give him any hair before, so you could add a little choof of hair and just rubbing out those lines behind it, or colouring in over the top, whichever. And also adding the pointed felt, which is usually on an elf's hat, in this way, and just rub out any lines which cross over. Okay, you can then go and colour him in with some rosy red cheeks. I draw them in grey. And let's add some nice lines up here to symbolise that this is indeed a very fantastic hammer. And maybe he's found it, maybe it's a golden hammer, and he's saying something about that, so you can add your caption in there to see what he says. Okay. Other pointers might be that for the side of the cheeks, you can, by exaggerating this line coming in and out, you can have a very different face shape there. So it really is for you to play with. It can become very pointed in that way, or you can just keep it very simple as we had it before. Okay, so there's infinite amount of options there. And okay, I have another alternative to this one. So I'll swap the layers over so you can see another option. Okay, I've prepared this one. So the pose is almost identical. The arm is a little bit lower, and instead of holding the mallet, he's holding up a rather disgusting smelly sock. To draw flies, incidentally, on something like this is a little trick. You can just draw a wiggle, a black dot with two wings, and it gives the impression that there's a stinky old fly coming away from something. It makes it look smelly. And then with his face, you can make his eyebrows so he's discovered it and he's not very impressed with it. Or you could have him so he is really pleased with what he's found, which gives a totally different idea of what he's thinking. Or alternatively, you could have him so he is rather disgusted by the whole thing. Ugh. And you just lift up that part of the mouth there, and you could even nibble off some of the eye there just to really exaggerate that disgust. Okay, right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Caption competition. What would you have this elf say? Write your ideas below, and the funniest one will get entered inside the box, and you will have your name credited. A Merry Christmas, and I hope your Christmas cards are wonderful. I'd love to see them. If you'd like to post them underneath here, I would be very pleased to have a look at them. Please subscribe, please press like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.